This is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. And I want to urge you to listen as we deal with models that will help you to know when to say no as a young man, because this is a very confusing subject, because many of the young men have been driven into doing wrong things because of peer pressure. They could not say no. But we want to teach you to know when to say no. And we are sharing these common models that are known out there in leadership cycles. And I want to share those because they're very important for you to know. They are not new. And as I've said, it is actually principles that if you know, you would actually help yourself to know how to prioritize. Today I want to speak about the Moscow method. The Moscow method. Now, the Moscow method is and effectively prioritizing options based on their importance and also their necessities. This is like the Maslow needs or hierarchy of needs. It is actually looking at one, the options that are important, and they are not only important, but they are necessary. Because there are those things that are very important, but they may be not necessary for you. There are those that are looking to be necessary, but they're not important for you. Yeah, and I think we need to be aware of this, and that is why I'm speaking about the Moscow method of prioritization, whereby it will help you to say yes or to say no to situations. Now, I want you to look at the must-haves. The must-have are those things that you say yes to, the items that are critical, and they are project success. The things that are critical, and they're very, very, very contributory to the project. Things that if you don't do them, or you don't use them, they are going to make that project to crumble. So these things are important. They are critical items, and they make the project to be successful. Now, I'm saying the Moscow model is something that we're looking at priorities based on the importance and also the necessity. And I want you to always look at that in your mind and say, is this necessary? Is this important as well? Because there are things that may be important but not necessary. As I said, there might be things that are necessary but they may not be important. So please, to those things that are items that are critical for project success, I want to say, please, you must say yes, because these are the must-haves. These are the people that you cannot do, the things that you cannot do without, rather. These are the people, also, if it's people, you cannot do without them. This is very important. So therefore, it is very crucial that you look at the must-haves as very critical that you need, because you need to have that for you to be successful in this project. Now, these are the things that are the should-have. Now, the should-haves are those people, those things that you say yes to as well. Those things that you say no, rather, to the things that you say you should have. You should have, yes. You say not right now, because they may not be important right now, but not critical, maybe right now. And this is very important. Are they things that you should have? Yes, there might be things that you should have, but not now. It's like as a young man, you cannot buy a car because others are buying a car. Because are you needing the car? Yes, you need it. Is it a must-have? Maybe it's a should-have, because it's something that you are actually now going to prioritize and say no for now, but I need it later. I cannot completely rule it out. So please be aware that there are those things that are should-haves. And the should-haves, as I say, you can say no. You can say no, not now. Not now. I may have it later, but not now. But also, I want you to look at what we say is a could have. The things that we call could have. The could haves as well are the people that you could have if you want. But these are the things that I'll encourage you as a young man to say no to them. Why? Because these are the nice to have, but not necessarily items that you need. Say no to them, please. Because young men, we get confused because of the people that we associate with, because of the people that we live with every day, that most of the time we go for the could haves. I've seen young men that pressurize their parents because fashion labels that they could have, yes. But right now, the money is needed actually for your school fees. So this is a could have, but you can say no to it now because it is something surely that you could have, but it may not be necessary right now. It's a nice to have, but not necessarily items. It's not a necessary item. So say no to that. And I hope that you understand that as a young man. I want you to also realize that in Moscow method, we're having what we say won't have, those things that you won't have. The things that you won't have are those things or items that can be eliminated or postponed completely. Because even though you stress about them, you cannot have it. You won't have it now. For an example, if you're a young man, 14 years old, you want a car, you know that you cannot have a license at the age of 14, so therefore you won't have it, even if you want, because the law doesn't allow it. So you cannot then stress about it and say, but daddy, you don't want to buy me a car and so on. Mommy, you don't want to buy me a car or so on. As a young man, you must be able to say no. Why? Because this item that can be eliminated or it can be postponed until you are 18 when you get your license. So please be careful to prioritize these things. And the Moscow method is actually important because when you start to look at the importance and start to look at the necessity, you'll be able to eliminate quite a lot of things that you thought you need in your life. Those things that you thought they're important, but when you start to scrutinize on them, you realize that they're not as important as you thought. So therefore, you will actually skip it and say, I don't need that right now. Now, I want you to be aware of that as a young man, because sometimes we really get confused because we are confused by our own colleagues, our own peers as well, and our own friends as well. We are actually getting confused because of that. And I want to urge you as a young man to be careful because those things that you could have and those things that you won't have, please say no to them because they won't help you. I want to check out right here, but before I check out, I want to remind you that we've got a Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and a Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. So please, I want you to like those pages and I want you to follow them, please. Click notification buttons as well so that you may be notified when we post a material of this kind. Don't forget our YouTube channel as well. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click notification button on it as well. We have got our TikTok account, which is trending big time. And please make sure as well that you visit our TikTok account. Please subscribe to our TikTok account as well and click notification button so that you may be notified as we post this material. May the good Lord bless you. We are Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are developing ordinary young men into extraordinary men of wisdom, integrity, and character. And we do that through kingdom principles. May the good Lord bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.